Okay. 7:02, we'll start our meeting. The mayor is somewhere out on the highway between Southern California and Salt Lake City, so I did talk to him this afternoon.
Beaver.
Oh, he made it to Beaver, huh?
He just called, so.
Okay. Anyhow, so I will go ahead and conduct tonight. We have 4 members of the council here tonight, then I'll start to the left. Kenny Johnson, myself, Frank, yeah, I was getting there. Banks and Dirk Ballard. So, oh my gosh, I forget about asking someone to say the prayer. Kenny, would you do that tonight?
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're very grateful to be here tonight. Please bless us and we all to take care of the town's business and so we pleasing unto thee. We're very grateful for everything we have and enjoy, and please bless us more through this time. Thank you again for all, and it's easy to pray for in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Okay, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Whoa, where's the flag?
Oh, the flags, they used them for.
They used it for the 4th of July.
Yes, they did.
Well, we don't have a flag, so I guess we'll have to forego our pledge tonight. But be it known that we do pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Would you like to sing the national anthem instead?
No, because, no, I don't think so, because you might all need hearing aids after. Or therapy, so
Okay. So, I don't have any papers here indicating public comment. So, we'll go on down to the next item, which is approval for the agenda for July the 9th. Oh, well, that's tonight. For June 25th, I take it. And yes, for June 25th, that's what I've got here. I just hadn't said the date yet. Approving the minutes for June 25th and the payment.
There wasn't a payment approval in the packet. Oh,
You
that's
did-
it.
You don't have one?
Maybe there's, oh, no.
It should be behind your June 25th. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, it's just, thanks.
Okay. You wanna hand me that back?
You
There.
bet. Pretty
Sir?
simple. Okay.
Okay, anybody wanna make a motion on those?
I make a motion that we approve the consent items 1, 2, and 3.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Ken Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We'll go down to letter B, the reports. Does anybody have any reports to make tonight? I don't have anything other than the official opening of our bids on the sewer project will be tomorrow at 1:00 p.m. If anybody wants to attend to see that.
So tell us the process on this. It opens tomorrow,
Officially, yes.
and then when does it close?
It has to, the whole bidding time has to be at least 3 weeks in duration.
So we've got 3 weeks.
So we've already, it has been, Mr. Newspaperman, how many weeks has it been running in your newspaper? It's been in there for 2 weeks, I think, so it's got 1 more week to go.
Okay,
So it'll be at the end of that period.
okay.
I guess I could have officially recognized you tonight. I had to remember who you were when you walked in the door.
John Jennings.
Anyway, okay, we'll go ahead with that. Council members, we don't have any reports from department heads.
You know, could I make a comment on that for
Yes.
future agenda items? We used to have, we used to split the department heads in half.
Yes.
And half of them would report in person at this meeting, and half would report at the next one. And to just, I mean, we can read through these, but there are things going on that it would be nice to be able to have that conversation if we could have the department heads here once a month. That, this is just me talking, but I would like to see
Well, I agree with you.
in-person reports.
We are going to do that, we're in the process of doing a schedule for them,
Oh, thank
so
you.
that they know. And we will actually have half on one and half the next each month.
And
Or
Okay,
every other
good.
month, I guess is what it is.
And that's not a invitation?
That's a be there.
Please be there, okay. Can I make a comment on the department heads?
Yes.
When this impresses me every time this come in on the Fredonia Municipal Court. The court processed fine payments in the amount of $74,855.66. Of that, $35,188 comes directly back to the town. That's in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's good. They're busy.
And that's in addition to all the other things that they take care of,
Yeah.
the other calls.
And I do have a question on the Fredonia Public Library activity. What happened in those two pictures right there?
We have a phone cannon,
Oh,
and so the phone cannon shoots out the phone, and the kids come in their suits, and we gave them goggles, and they get to dance through it and play through it, and
oh,
get shot in the face with it by Miss Lisa.
okay.
We love that. Miss Tanya and I purchased one together
Oh,
to share with them.
well, I think in the summertime, all those library activities actually, I think the library sometimes is just kind of like the wallflower that people don't think about, and I think it benefits a lot of people, so thank you.
I think at that one, there were 100 people, or,
Wow,
I think there were 100 people at that one.
thank you.
Okay. Then we'll proceed down to number C, or letter C,
How
the
about-
action
how about
items.
Number 4.
Town office updates. Oh, Ted Jensen. I was thinking about that and I jumped right over you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It would be nice.
You're
if you
sitting
could jump-
quietly there.
Yeah, I'd like to compliment Dirk on recognizing the library, of having taken my grandson there routinely. It's just a fantastic library. They do a fantastic job, more than you can ever imagine. The
Mhm.
kids have a great time, and it's a great outlet for them, and they learn a lot in there. It's not just fun and games, they actually learn, and social skills and manners and just random things, but they do a great job. With respect to the audit, we do need to have a meeting on the next council meeting, an executive session on, where we discuss
It's the 2022
confidential
audit.
yeah, confidential document. It is done, it's been submitted, and in turn, we'll have to post that, but we'd like to go over the details with you of much of what's been learned and what we're doing right now is the audit. As difficult as they are, they've taught us a lot, and we will be clean going forward in the future.
When we do an executive session like that, it has to be under one of the 4
Yeah,
headings.
and
What
that's-
would that be under?
And I think it's the B one, because that's confidential. But I'll have that for sure when we set it up. And then with regards to the budget, we went through the draft, and then they presented a tentative, and then it was to be a final. But there was a lot of changes, significant changes to try to get the cost down. So there will be another tentative budget, and that will be presented to us on the next council meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
And it should be good. I'm hoping that it'll have a lot of improvement. And then I have one other item, and I'll wait for that on the agenda.
Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
working for peanuts.
Sunflower seeds would be better.
Sunflower seeds and, I was just gonna say watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Okay. So that concludes that then, so then we'll go ahead to the discussion for possible action regarding adopting the Arizona State Library Archives and Public Records General Retention Schedule for the town of Fredonia. What that involves, for those of you that haven't been in the office every day, that is a schedule of, that the state requires us, all of the different kinds of paperwork that need to be held for various different times. And most of it is approximately 7 years. There are some things that we don't need to hold longer than that, but most of our records in our negotiations, everything else that goes through the town, through our town clerk.
So.
Is there anything else there?
What exactly is the Arizona State Library Archives?
It's a stack of papers about like that.
About this
It-
big.
no. So it tells you what you can, what you can't, how long you should.
Yes.
So the only thing, and keeping records probably is not a big deal, but in the past, people have brought in stacks of paper and said, well, we just need to adopt this for our town, and sometimes it has nothing to do with our town. Is that,
So I did go through, and there's things in here that they're all stapled in different things, because they had things for the police department that we don't keep. They had things for medical records and for, different public entities that we don't, for colleges and schools and things like that, that we don't keep. But these are like your, personnel records and your, meter readings and things like that. We have meter readings that go back 10 years that we only need to keep for 3. But, they were just thrown in a bag. But your personnel records for as long as they're here, 7 years after, but we had things in the back room, down in the basement that had been held for longer than what we really need.
and so then if we adopt this, will this be, since we're on the subject of audits, is this something, an addition that we will be audited on, or, okay?
But if
It had-
if we don't,
It came to light because of the audit.
yes.
It's just good housekeeping.
Yes.
Yes, and most of, when I call different towns and, email different towns, this is what they have adopted.
Okay.
And that's what they have guided me to, is, and this actually comes from the, Attorney General's office, the state library. And there's things that they say, if you're gonna keep something like our historical documents, there's things that we need to send to them.
So the proper way of doing this then, there are actually other resolutions that we have passed where we present it, the public reads it, and changes that should have been put into the town code and have not, which that's not this
No.
is old. Is this something that we need to do a resolution on then, that we would add to our town code? Or is this just a general?
This is, I would say general.
General guidelines.
Yeah, this is just a general guidelines.
This is just our in-house
However,
rules.
the caveat is, we would keep it through and until each year of the audit is done, if it's something that would be required for that, in spite of what that says.
But then personnel records, so like if we have someone retire from here, we keep their personnel records for 7 years.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that.
Yeah, see what happens, well, what they did, like on this particular audit, on this 2022 audit, was they found a name, and they said, we want all the records on that name. We didn't have them. That's really how all of this came to light, and so we're learning the hard way here. But the ladies are doing a good job there. And as far as, updating the town code, that is one of the things that I have put on my paperwork to be done. For the next few weeks, I will be trying to take all of the amendments that we've passed over the last, we've got a notebook in there with a stack of papers in each eye. And it's never been entered in the town code. And so it has caused problems in the recent past because it was never entered and people didn't know about it. So I will personally be working on that.
So
So-
as far as this one goes, Kenny or Frank, do you guys have a problem with that one?
I sure don't.
Well, I make a motion that we pass adopting the Arizona State Library Archives and Public Records General Retention Schedule for the town of Fredonia.
I'll second.
All right, motioned and seconded by Kenny Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, number 2, discussion and possible action regarding disposal of old records. Again, clerks, would you like to expound on that?
So, we actually had the public works guys come in and they brought in 2 great big old bags of meter readings and old, just paperwork that we really didn't need. And stuck it in here and I started going through it and it's like, why are we keeping meter readings for over 10 years? You know, and so we have to clean out that basement. So I did some calling to around St. George to shredding companies. We have to get rid of them on site. We can't take anything off site because heaven forbid if something gets taken and it has somebody's personal information on it. So we have to shred it on site. I called some companies. We already had one come, I don't know how long ago. The next time they come, they will be here on the 15th. We could get them to come in and shred all that. $190 for, they said 2 roll carts. I said I have 2 great big, huge, long bags. And they said that and 2 roll carts is what they said for $190. And that would include their gas and everything, and they'll just get it and shred it.
I make a motion that we pass the disposal of records and approve the $190 to have it done.
I'll second.
I think a
Okay.
bonfire would do the job, but probably not in the summertime.
A what?
Yeah, a bonfire.
Yeah, but
Well,
we don't
We
need
actually
DEQ.
discussed that, but they can't leave it has to be done on site.
Get a barrel, I'm just kidding.
How long that would take? I would still gonna shred it too, but.
I tell you what, after the records are shredded, you can pick them up.
No.
Okay, it has been motioned and seconded. It was seconded by Frank Banks. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's unanimous. We'll do that. Okay, discussion number 3, discussion and possible action regarding I'm going to say a contract with Kinetic for IT services. Would you like to explain that, Ted?
We went out, Les Olson has been our IT services for a few years. During this last power outage that we had that was extended, it really tipped us over. That's when some of the backup and other issues became apparent. We found a lot of the weaknesses, and we ended up having to have Kinetic come down and fix it because they're located in, Les Olson's located in St. George. They do a good job but, with what they do, but with us being as remote as we are, getting a hands-on is just all but impossible. So at any rate, they get permission for Kinetic to do some of the work, and they saved us big time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been up. We were almost all day trying to
Yeah,
come
we
back.
were still down for, what, almost 3 days, wasn't it?
Yes. And then one of the concerns that I had coming in was when I found that we didn't have adequate backup. The backup of our data is critical, and our backup is located in the same building, and so that's not a good thing. And Kinetic has a proposal here that for doing a backup with a server. That would be the capital portion. And then the,
Okay, this is the Les Olson one. You've got, there's Kinetic.
Now, Kinetic, Les Olson had a lower,
Yeah, let's take a look, yeah.
Les Olson had a lower cost on their, by $200 per month. They were 500 and they lowered it down, given that we were bidding. But what they didn't cover is on this last outage, they said that the 1 hour, 5 hours was on the contract that they would, that was supposed to be billed at a certain rate. And they charged us 5 times that. It becomes a matter of trying to fight it. So with Kinetic's proposal, we end up with a better firewall. We end up with, which keeps our data clean. We have 3 backups, and they manually back up 4 times a month. They physically come here and will back up. So we'll have our server backup, which is the capital portion of $7,020. I submitted that it is not in our budget. I submitted it to be included in the budget, so it might be something that we can postpone and see how the budget looks. But it is a must-do item to get our back.
So that 7,000 though, that's per annum.
This is a one-time cost for getting the servers. They're doing the,
To get hooked up.
yeah, and also this includes an extra server that will capture the data backup. And they're installing the door locks and the cameras, so we'll have the same people all involved with all our services.
will do the door locks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so
The other
this,
thing is, Kinetic is right here in Kinetic.
So by having them do the door locks and the cameras, that would actually take money off of another line somewhere else.
yeah, it just helps us having it all in one basket. This would be a one-time cost, and again, I did submit it to our accountant for adding to the budget. It would be nice to see, it would be nice to get this going as soon as possible because we are quite vulnerable. Having our backup in the same building and close to each other, they could both be destroyed and we would be in deep trouble.
So the hard numbers we're looking at is $565 a month and a one-time fee of $7,020.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the Les Olson, they have 280 but they do not include the backup coverage that we are after.
And if we need them, experience has shown they won't come from St. George. These guys will.
Yeah, so what I would like to ask is that approval, now, Les Olson requires 30 days notice, else it's an automatic renewal. I did send them a letter saying that we were asking for bids and that contract was, we were gonna close it, and that giving them the 30 days notice. I did that in last month, and the automatic renewal would be August 2nd. And so that is stopped, so that won't renew, and we can go forward with Kinetic, subject to your guys' approval for the monthly service. And then I would suggest strongly, if you're willing to go after the backup, but it may be something you want to wait till see but it's critical enough, I would try to suggest
Get
approving
double
it now.
coverage on the backup instead of just one backup that is in our building. We have another backup that's not in our building, so that if anything were to happen here, we would still be protected with
Yeah,
with
he'll have,
everything. It's the-
Would they also, this also covers the IT stuff at the police office?
yes, well, this hard dollar, the capital is for the admin building only. When I talked, he was gonna look at the police and see what he could do to work out something for a backup for the police and the senior senator. So those are not on there yet, but he says he's gonna try to figure out how to get it over here to where it would be backed up. But remember, it'll be an automatic update, plus he'll have the manual where he comes in and makes sure that that's equivalent of putting and just plugging it in and backing it up. Plus it'll be backed up on the cloud also.
Yeah.
And that would, based upon the amount of space we use, it has a price per terabyte, and we should be good on that. But if possible, approve all of it, but if, at the minimum, we need to approve the monthly services. Any questions on
Do
that?
we want to actually approve signing the contract tonight, or do you want to wait for another meeting?
You know what, and nothing against, the service that we've gotten from the other people, but in a lot of other areas, it's been a lot better to be able to work. If we have a quality person locally, it sure seems to
Yes.
help us out.
Yeah, and he's been outstanding to work with, and he's been very fair. He's came and worked on stuff and didn't charge us on, and trying to help Les Olson get through. So they're a good, honest company.
Anybody? Do we want to motion it tonight then, and pass it tonight, or wait?
Do we wanna see what the budget looks like first before we do this, or?
On the capital you could, but we need the O&M one tonight.
I will bet you that when we meet with Lars next time, he's gonna say, well, you're a little over here, you're over there, but, I don't see how you can get away without having some of this stuff. We're running it, well,
Yeah.
it's a business. I
I
would,
just,
if it was way more than, and if that's a one-time charge just to get hooked up, so a year from now, if we renew this contract a year from now, all we would be looking at is the monthly.
The monthly charge.
Correct.
yeah,
And you girls in the office are dealing with this face-to-face, what's your opinion?
So we probably paid more calling Les Olson when our servers were down, right after that power outage.
For the incidentals?
For the incidental, I mean, you know, we called him every day, and I was on the phone with him for 2.5 hours. And if it wasn't one computer, it was the other. We actually called Craig, because we couldn't get our video up on, and that's not him, but he came over that evening and got it back up online.
Craig is with Kinetic. Craig
Yes.
Bear.
So he
Yeah,
Down
did,
route.
was that Express Web, did he used to have that, or?
Used to.
Yeah,
Work for.
well, it sounds to me like it's something you gotta have. And-
They were trying to get us so that we each had our own domain, different emails. So we're not going to, right now, Ted and I are sharing a desk and email, instead of it just going, I can
Yeah.
transfer it to him. So, there's not that. It's all in, right now, it's all in Tracy Goodall's name, and so you have two that have emails. You have the front desk and you have Tracy's desk. So right now, that's the only ones that have emails.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a tech person, but I like the idea of the hard backup, not the cloud. That,
I would agree.
yeah, both, but you've got a redundancy,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
well, I am too, so,
Well,
motion?
Well, it's like these gentlemen are saying, and it's always better to have local if you can find somebody qualified. So, yeah, I totally agree.
Well, then make a motion that we accept this and sign the contract.
I'll make the motion, that we approve it.
On both items or one?
Well, approve the non-reoccurring charges and the monthly fee to be included in that, okay? I
Okay.
second it.
Okay, Frank motioned it. Dirk seconded it.
I'll agree, aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
So both were
Okay.
approved, is that what I heard? Thank you.
So that's passed. We can proceed forward and
this-
get everything all lined out and
Yeah.
get it
Excuse me.
switched up.
Ted, is Connecticut, is that Craig Baird
Yes.
is him? Yeah, I think he's pretty knowledgeable.
Well, and he has helped us out here a lot. 2 months ago when we first started using the video camera? He was the one that was here helping us, not
Yeah.
Les Olson. So that's, we've got experience with him, so I think that's a very good move there. Okay, number 4, discussion and possible action regarding pay increases for the library personnel. I know it says personal, but it's personnel.
Double whatever they're getting.
No.
Well.
We
in
would
some-
like to, but
Well, in some cases, that would put you within the recommendation here.
yes, have you got there's a library clerk part-time paper?
Oh, I do now?
I probably can't say much because my
Yeah.
wife works at the library.
Yeah, you're
But I will
disqualified.
say, a 14-year-old can go to McDonald's today and get a 40-hour-a-week job at $18 an hour.
Yeah.
So why would you work for the town of Fredonia?
Okay, the recommendation is somewhere in the $21 to $29 an hour. Is what the other libraries in our state are. In other words, they're not all on one number, they're different numbers, but that's,
The 21 to 29 is the library with not a library degree. The 18 to 21 is, library staff. So,
oh, okay.
So
Okay.
the deal is here, in this meeting, without permission from the individuals, we cannot talk names and specific numbers, but, I think we all have an idea of what the clerks are making, what other people are making, and, I think
This is not-
if you jump all the way to the upper end of that on everybody, we're gonna have hell to pay with all of the other departments. But I think that we need to at least get our library people up to where they're comparable to the other.
Well, if we have that in one of the executive session, then we can discuss personnel and per hour.
So I think probably what should happen with this is, is Tanya the head of that department?
Yes.
Then what we need to do is come back with some specific recommendations for the individuals. And we need to let the individuals know we're gonna discuss them and a salary. And we can discuss that in executive session and agree on it. And then we come out here and in public session, we'll say, we approve the agreed upon. So I would say we need to put that, the recommendations, we need to officially do that at our next meeting, because we can't discuss numbers of people in an
Open forum.
That employee has the choice of an open or closed, but they have the,
yes,
obviously they're gonna say closed.
yeah, but if they say, no, I want you to discuss it in open, then we can discuss all three in executive session, but if one of them says no, if Lisa says, no, I want it all out here, then we can discuss the other two, and then we'll discuss you out here, if you wanna be difficult. Okay.
Okay, so we'll table that for tonight then, for our next meeting. So clerks, if you'll make note of that. Okay, number 5, discussion and possible action regarding the dumpster refund request for Ben Terry. We've been discussing that. I have a particular paper here tonight that it's a copy of the computer sheet. I will go through it and I'll read it, and if you want to look at it, I'll pass it to you. On the 17th of January in 2019, Ben called to update his mailing address. He was moving into a fifth wheel and had a P.O. box. On the 31st of January, probably about the time he got his bill, he came into the office, and the clerk at the time made note that an adjustment was made on the landfill shared dumpster among 5 units, and the fee was to be split, but for unknown reasons and for whatever you want to call it, it was not done until March 21st of 2024, when Mr. Terry came back in. And so for those 4 years, he paid every month for the dumpster. And I thought it would have the price on here, but it doesn't. But anyhow, it was taken off from his bill, and the charge has been spread out amongst the people that are living in the RV park where the dumpster was originally set up for. It wasn't set up for him to use, but we know from past experience, from watching, that his company and his son's company used that dumpster for a period of at least 3 years. And so I don't know what we want to do. Justin is the one that has all those figures
So
available.
we added it up from those months that after he came in January of 2019, we figured it was about $3,000 that he paid, $3,030 or something.
What is it, $47.50 a month?
It's 50/50, and then, well, it's 55/50, but there's an automatic
No.
dump fee of $5 that everybody.
That you don't count that because everybody has that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whether he had the large one or whatever, so we just counted the 50/50, and we came up with about the $3,000
Yes,
Oh,
he is
so
not
it's
being
not,
charged
it's not
for
a
it now.
full, so it's not a full 5 years.
No.
He was refunded, from what my understanding was, he was refunded a little bit in, January of 2019.
So when it says that adjustment was made, he was refunded
He was
money.
refunded
Okay.
some, you know,
So you're looking at because it's not a full 5 years,
no.
it's more like, so 24 plus,
Yeah, there's some additional information that really doesn't apply, but yet it does apply because, and Mr. Terry isn't here tonight to answer questions for it, but we have found out that he does have an employee that works there at the establishment for him that has been living in an RV trailer for that total time and has not applied for a special use permit from the town. So there's other things that apply also.
well, and that's, so that the conditional.
Okay,
use
what was
per-
your,
The conditional use permit is probably a fight for another day, but if that guy's living there, where's he dumping his garbage? And this is a tough one, I wish he was here because it comes
Yeah.
down to,
Oh,
he said, she said, but, I know people who are from up there who said there have been times that dumpster has been full of sawdust and bark from whatever was going on. I don't know if that was somebody in town here going up there dumping, I
His
don't.
son, that was his business.
Okay. So at best, I kinda don't feel like, if they were if it was supposed to be split halfway, then it's supposed to be split halfway. But especially if they were using it, it comes to 25, 75, 50 for 4 years and 3 months. And, if he was, I can see both sides of it. If you're running a business, and I'm guilty of this, you better open your mail and read it. Because if I'm paying for something over a period of time, the word is implied consent. So if he was paying that all that time, and I'm not making any accusations, but if he was paying that all that time and using it, and now he wants us to reimburse him for everything for something that he implied consent to and used, I don't think that we need to pay back that whole amount. I would not feel bad about giving him back something if it was also being used, if it was being split. If you split 2575 in half, that comes to 1287. Is this something that we run into occasionally with garbage?
This is unusual as far as since we've been here. Of course, you know we haven't been here that long.
If people's power bills are $3.30 over, do they come in and yell at you?
Not yet, but they do come and ask.
They'll make note of it.
They'll make note of it.
Not
We just
not
had
4
that.
years from now.
No, they don't wait. We just had that happen this week. Somebody questioned their water bill. Why is my water bill so high? You know, and we had a couple of those this week. You know, why is my water bill so
I would rather, I mean, we need to be fair to both people. We need to be fair to the town of Fredonia. There's a lot of people that aren't paying their power bills. Do we turn their power off?
There have been many that are red tag that do get turned on.
So if we refund this whole amount, then we're refunding him for something and giving him a free service.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would like to be refunded on my dumpster. No, I'm just being a smart aleck, but.
Yeah, I hear you.
I am not against giving him a refund on some of this. I am against giving him a refund because I'm pretty sure that dumpster was being used. And if there's somebody living on the property right now, is he packing his garbage up and taking it where?
So do we have any suggestions? Any, split it in half, split it in a third? Ken? Don't be so quiet.
I don't know, I think that maybe you don't wanna give too much back to him. I think I'm all for refunding to make him somewhat happy. But I think we need to be kinda cautious there because like Dirk said, you know, if we refund everything to everybody, they're gonna all come in here and want their money back for stuff. For the power, for everything, their dumpsters. We kinda gotta be cautious on what we're doing here. So, I don't know, the dollar amount, I don't have any idea.
What would be like a third of it?
Would
You gave me the-
$1,000 be too cheap on our part?
That's kind of the number I was thinking, but I don't know if we need, I don't know, that's quite a bit back, but I think that's about where we should be thinking about.
Well, because, and here, Dirk and I have gone through this and we've kind of bounced each other off the walls. But anyhow, the implied consent implies that he knew he was paying for the dumpster. And because he knew that he was using it, even though he knew clear back in January, because the clerk at the time made note of it, that the town was going to change the way of doing it, but it wasn't changed. So there is a little bit of fault with the town and the bookkeeping and whatnot.
But how
But-
much was his refund then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It would have probably only been for a year or so, but I don't know, that's it. We don't know, because there's no record.
So
There's
we
no
can't-
written record. See, we don't have it.
You know, we can't, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
That's right.
January 17th, 2019, so I say we refund him $1,000, but we make a hard line right here. That going forward, if you've got people coming in and they knew all this time, at what point do you say, you know, open your mail and read it, boys?
Yeah, and I think we need to maybe make an agreement with them or something, and once they check out the dumpster, that they'll pay that amount every month, and where there's no discrepancy or nothing else, they know exactly what they've gotta pay, and where the location of the dumpster's at. You know, I think if we're gonna do this, I think we need to upgrade stuff, and we need to make it where everybody's on the
Yeah,
same page.
because the employee that's living on the property should have his own dumpster and be
Yes.
paying for his own dumpster, not,
So actually, if I'm, and we don't need to belabor this, but if I come and dump my garbage in your dumpster, isn't that that's not a felony, but I'm stealing services. So that's what I say.
Okay, so
But
if,
then going forward, if whoever is living there is dumping garbage in the dumpster, there ought to be repercussions. If I'm paying for my dumpster and you're filling
well,
it
that's why I
up,
say he needs to have a black barrel for
His
his,
own
or
deal.
his own use. And so then he would,
And-
whoever's gonna pay for it's gonna pay for it.
And we went around town and we collared a lot of people living in camp trailers without conditional use permits, so that's, let's chase one rabbit, but
Yeah,
I-
let's
I
just
make
do
a
this
motion.
tonight.
I make a motion that we refund him $1,000 and then we're done.
I second it. Okay, all in favor?
It's been
Yeah, we gotta,
I second it.
okay.
yeah, we gotta have, be all on the same page, we all gotta agree with the last of it,
His motion,
yeah. And then
Was to
all-
do it,
we gotta all-
and then I'm seconding his motion,
Yeah, and then we gotta.
and that's why I'm
we gotta
saying
agree
all
on
in
the same-
favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. You gonna vote?
I gotta recuse myself
Okay.
as a property owner and landlord. I don't feel I have the right
That's
Okay.
to
probably smart.
comment.
So we
I
have
would,
3
the only
ayes
thing
and
that
1
bugs
abstain.
me about, you guys bring up a lot of good stuff. The only thing that bugs me is just more, does that dumpster, don't seem, there's 8 people in the trailer park, 8 spaces rented. It seems to me like that dumpster's not big enough for
8 or 9.
spaces and the shop,
Yes,
Mr. Terry. That's all I really wanna say.
that's all right, say
And we
it.
don't need we don't need it overflowing, we don't need trash scattered around, you know, but I think you guys are being fair and more
I think
than
we need to
fair.
have him come into the office, sit him down in the office, which I can do later we're getting short on the week. Either the 2 days left of this week or the first of next week. I will make sure that he understands what is going on and why. And we'll proceed from there, okay?
Yeah,
Sounds
I
good.
think that's a
Okay.
good fair.
So, again, the ayes were 3 ayes and 1 abstention. Okay, where'd my paperwork go here? Okay, I guess that's all of the action items for tonight.
Can I say something? before we-
Yes,
I would like to personally thank everybody for the 4th of July and how great it turned out. It turned out great, you know, there's a lot of people there, a lot of families, just everything was just perfect. You know, you had Life Flight there, their helicopter and everything, and they was there demonstrating, showing it all off. We had 2 of our officers there, the new.
Oh, they weren't there on business.
Yeah, they was there to show it off.
Oh,
But it turned out great. I just heard compliment after compliment. You know, it was one of the better 4th of July that I've seen. So I'd like to thank everybody.
Yeah.
That's all.
okay, is that it? Raise your
Can I,
hand.
can I change the subject?
Sure.
I'm just curious about something. I haven't heard anything for a long time about the port of entry here. See, I brought that up with Christie, and then we brought it to the council. But, you know, right after I got on the council, I'd go home at night, you know, and it was all so new to me. I didn't realize there's so much to running a small town, and there sure is, I've learned. But it used to bother me at night. I'd go to bed, and I'd lay there and think, what can I bring up? How can I help the town? What can I bring up on the agenda, you know, that would help everybody? And then one night, I don't know, it just popped in my head about that port of entry that I think everybody would use, everybody would benefit. And I just haven't heard anything lately, that's all.
It has been opened officially. We received a plaque. We gave the plaque to Christie's family because it was specifically had her name and whatnot
Oh,
on it.
okay.
We didn't keep it here at the office. It was given to her family. And they told us at the time that they were going to be open 5 days a week. It has not happened yet. They're still running,
So there'll be a
2,
real,
3,
real
4,
human,
5.
not just a
No.
kiosk or?
No, all it is now is they're there checking.
Stopping-
Well, that's ADOT.
Their ADOT in code enforcement is there checking commercial vehicles, making
Yes.
sure, and if you're driving a dually truck with a trailer and tools, you have to pull over. The whole point of opening that was to be able to go in there and get a license and to get a permit and to do other stuff. And I actually asked the other day, what's that gal's name that works in there?
Colleen.
Colleen,
She said, I mean, they've got everything in there. She said that they're talking about that.
And she said, to us, she said, if you want more, you're gonna need to write to them and make that suggestion for them, because they got this far and stopped.
They,
She
well,
said
we,
that they
yeah,
would
we
love to hear
called
from
and,
you.
we called and screamed and swore, and they flew a Learjet up here and told us how much money they didn't have. And they said they don't have the money to staff it, but I would rather see it closed than to just be open for what they're doing. It needs to be a full service, so as a town, we probably ought to be making some, you're good at making people fancy.
especially you, huh?
I don't stay mad for long.
Coconino County has a trailer that they take around to small communities, Ash Fork, others. They're in, and that portable trailer has the ability to give you driver's licenses and other services that we used to have that we don't. And they're not giving us that service because it's such a long ways away. So they either need to give us the portable services or they need to open it up, one of the two, but they can't do nothing, in my mind, so,
That's Coconino County itself, right?
yes. And that, I stopped and talked, and that's what one of the people there told me, he says that trailer that goes around, I don't know why it skips Fredonia.
If it came here once a week,
Even once a month,
you would know.
but I'd be glad to write up the letter.
And you could add, if you're not willing to, we are redheaded stepchildren of Utah, and Arizona doesn't know we exist until it's tax time. So if they can't send that service to us, maybe they could just scoot the border a little further south.
I'm going for that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
write a letter.
I will make note of that and I will follow up on it.
You guys.
And I've got something else right now that I'm doing with the county. I'm getting a map, a large plat map, so that we can address the addressing of all of the plots and here in town and get an official address. And what it will do is it will coordinate as we make changes or additions to the computer. It will automatically register it with the Coconino County, because all of the UPS and USPS and all of the rest of the delivery services, they don't deliver here in town hardly at all. They want to just take it to the post office and then we have to go get it because we don't have individual delivery. And so by doing that, that takes away that excuse, and so that, because now we have those delivery companies telling people, well, your county doesn't have you on record, so you don't exist, so even if you've lived in the house for how many years?
My house does not have an address on it. We've always used 10 South, 100 West for years and years and years, since my grandparents bought the house. I went to get insurance on my house in my name, and they told me, we can't find your address. We see it on the map, but there's not an address to it. So
So we're running into problems like that, and I have already been communicating with them, and they're supposed to get with us, and then I'll get some computer help to, get it done.
That's just gonna be a long ongoing thing.
Oh, it is.
They can't even update deeds.
I know. Okay, so we will conclude the meeting then. Let's see, it says 8:02. We'll adjourn until 2 weeks from now.